నీరజ్ ఉన్నాడా కాల్‌లో?
ఉన్నాడు.
హ్మ్. Okay, so in the last class, we have discussed about these workspaces, right? So I'll try to show it once again because earlier I could not show few options which were in workspaces.
Mm-hmm.
Let me let me create one more workspace. So as I told, you need to remember throughout this coaching and the training, since we are using this demo session, sometimes we may face a lot of we may face issues like the whatever the activities that we are doing, it may not get saved or it may not load. Since we will be having some limitations to this trial version, it won't allow us to perform all the activities like it might like it is possible in the actual version. So you can go
Okay.
on mute, Pankaj. Whenever you have any doubts, you can just unmute and you can answer, or else I'll ask if there is any doubts. Then you can ask.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay, no issues. So here, since we are going to create one more workspace, let me try to do it once again. So as usual, we this is a step like we need to we just right click on the any tile and then click on personalize payment reconciliation or whatever the name it is showing. So now just click on add a workspace. So new tile. Okay, so new tile has been created here. Let us try to rename this one. Let let me make it as a sample vendors invoices. We'll try to refresh because last time it didn't save actually. Here itself I'll get to know whether it is saved or not. Okay, sample vendor invoice has been created. So let us try to give what all details should be shown in this style since we have just renamed. So for that purpose, sample vendor invoices, right? We'll go to accounts payable. Okay, we will select pending vendor invoices. Okay, before that, we'll try to select company which has invoices already. Okay, so you just need to click on this one. Here you can see the drop down. Here it will show what our companies it has been created. So these are sample the demo companies which are created in the trial version. So most of the time, if you want to while doing practice, if you have any doubts, you can select the USMF company. This USMF Contest for Entertainment. So here we need to click select these options in this area under this personalize. Just click on add to workspace. We have selected sample all vendors under this presentation. There are three options we can see: tile, list, and link. Here we have already created the tile, right, with the name of sample all vendors. Either that you can select. Okay, let us try to let me try to select this tile and then configure. Here you can rename it whatever the name you want. And the the show count on the tile means if there are 100 pending vendor invoices, the moment you open the tile, it will show 100 pending vendor invoices. Since here there is only one invoice pending, it should show one pending invoice in the tile once you open that. So let us try to open the tile.
So that USMF, it's just for a practice, right? It's not none of your
Huh.
personal accounts.
No. I'll tell in the next step. In the next class, we are going to teach. I'll going to explain how to create the legal entity, everything. Since this is
Okay.
just a drop down where you can create a number of companies if you want. All those companies created, it will show here. Since
Okay.
Microsoft has allowed us to practice all the transactions for all the modules in the name of USMF, because even though there are a lot of companies are showing in this one, USMF has almost all transactions. If you have any doubts, you can just refer to this company while doing the practice.
Okay.
So we'll go to the home page and we'll see. Yeah. Okay, we'll just select the sample vendor invoices. Let us try to refresh here. Okay, I think it is not showing. It will show after some time. We'll just we'll just check this option as well. If we select the list, what will happen? Let us see. Yeah. So if you select the list, if you remember here, we can see these are the default options, default uh, columns which are existing in the Dynamics 365. If you see number, company, invoice, account, and then here all these columns you can see. And among these one, since this is just an overview, when the moment you open the workspace, you should be able to see the basic details or important details of that particular f- uh, of, of that particular field or for that particular uh, module. Since here, even though there are a lot of options, a lot of columns are there, the most important details what you need is like the invoice account, date. See, these are by default. We can select either. It will allow us to select either 3 columns or 8 columns. You can select as per your requirement. If you just need only 3 columns, you can select only 3 columns. If you need invoice account, date, name, and upload. Let us assume that if there are like 3 approvers are there, uh, we can select approved, unapproved by, or any other options you can see here. If you want, if you have invoices for the multiple countries, if you're dealing with in multiple countries, you can select currency wise, or if you want, you can select the date wise, discount wise, or if you want to add more columns, you can select 8 columns. It will allow us to max 8 columns, or select 3 columns. If you select 8 columns, you can let us try to select the name, number. Yeah, due date is also important, right? We'll try to select this due date, invoice account, invoice date, name, number, approved by, due date. status, whether it has been delivered or not. Date of the invoice. I think eight columns. Yeah, one, two, three, four, five.
Are there few specific ones that we need to select must and should, or we can select anything
There's
as per our
nothing must and
choice?
should. No, no. As per our choice, as per our requirement. That's all. You see,
Okay.
the moment you open the sample vendor invoices, what all details will help you to understand this sample vendor invoices report. Since these are the default options, if you select everything, there is no point. There is no difference between this workspace and this one, right? So since we there should be a, it should if you just see few details, you should be able to understand any the status of this sample vendor invoices, or else we can select one more like cash discount. So so 8 columns, I think we have selected. Let us try to click on OK. Too many columns selected. We will remove the status. Okay, so I was saying, I was telling that these are the default options. If you see a number, company, invoice, account, all these are there are a lot of such options are there. And the moment you click on this one, if you select this list, it will show us the all options which are available. Among those, you can select whichever it is required. Let us try to refresh. Those details actually should show here. Okay, it will take time. We can refresh it later and we can see, and we'll add this one also. There's one more option under this presentation. If you select the link, even here also you can rename. You can give it as a name and group name as per your requirement. Let me try to give as a domestic. Okay, we can just come back later and we can see. Since last week, when I made these workspaces, right? After some time, like I saw it like 1 hour or 2 hours later, then it was showing me all the details. We did this payment reconciliation. This payment reconciliation thing is will be vendor payments. Yeah, see, I have created this SLV vendor payment invoices. Yeah. So if you see here, by default, it is showing as a one pending invoice for this under this workspace SLV vendor payment. Since whatever we create, right? So like saving here it happens in the backend. We'll call it as a batch wise. For example, whenever you are doing any activity, not only this one, like creating workspace. Next time, if you are creating vendors or sometimes any activity that you are doing in this workspace, you it will not allow us to stay on the same screen till it gets saved. It will just let us to do other activities by and it will get saved in the backend itself. That we'll call it as a batch. So whenever there is an activity, so now we did some activities like add to the workspace. We have added to the tail and we have added to the list and link, right? All these things it will get saved in the backend. We'll try to come. We'll check it after some time. I'll try to see the previous workspace which we have created. Yeah. Okay, now I just told, right? So it will take some time to save all these details, whatever we have created. So we have created two workspaces. I mean, under the sample vendors, we have, if you remember, we have selected two. One is the list, and one is the link. So this is a list. So we, if you remember, we have selected two vendors and the pending vendor invoices. Uh, and see, if you, we have selected the vendors, right? So it will show you, it will, and we have selected only 8 columns, if you remember. Yeah. So these are the 8 columns under the pending invoices. If you we have selected 8 columns, right? So these are the approved cash discount, date, due date, invoice account, invoice date, number, name, and number. These columns you can change. You can keep it on left. You can just do alterations, like either if you want to move it on the left side, right side, all these things you can do. uh, so the it will help. For example, the moment you open this one, if you see, like there are hundreds of invoices worth of different amounts, like 1,000 rupees or 1,50,000, or if you want to see who has approved these invoices immediately. If, let us assume that you are an accounts payable manager. The moment you, instead of going to the normal navigation, if you want to see who all has approved invoices for that particular day or for that particular week or anything, you can just keep it as on the first column. If it is least important, you can just ignore, or you can just remove, or you can do, if you want to know discount, or if you want to know date wise, you can do whatever the changes you need. So he, like this, you can create a number of lines, and those lines will create it depending on this availability. Since we have only this option, we have only one uh, in this tab, you can see under the spending vendor invoices, whatever the details are available, that it will show under, in this, under the data list. Like this, for every module you can create. See, and whenever you select this link, we if you remember, we have selected even link also for this same details. If you want to show all these details in under as per the link, you can just click on the link, and that link will be created here. See, if you just click on the pending vendor invoices, that will redirect you to the actual page. Either you can use in this way, or else you can select the columns and you can make it as a list. And while creating the tile, while creating the list, there was one option, right? Total count. So this is the total count. So if you select the domestic vendors, it is saying that there are 49 domestic vendors are there. Under the pending vendor invoices, there is only one pending vendor invoices. If there are 100 pending invoices, it will show 100. It works like a dashboard kind of thing. See, so it says that there are 49 vendors. Instead of opening these and counting, here itself it will show 49 vendors. So I hope you understood it, how to use the workspace, how to customize this workspace, and how does it helps. You can even actually by default for every module, they have created a few workspaces which are mostly used, like vendor invoice entry, vendor payments. For accounts receivable also, they have created customer invoice, customer payments, budgeting, ledger budgets. Either you can use those workspaces, or else you can create as per your requirement. And cash and bank management, even here also they have created. All right, so this is how workspaces are created, and these are generally used by the, like, all departments, like end users, as well as the head of that particular team, or anyone who is using the anyone who wants to know, uh, just like a glimpse kind of thing for that particular module, they can create these workspaces. So if you understood these workspaces, then we will go to the next topic.
Yes, I got it. This one.
Okay, so today we are and the next our next topic is creating the legal entity. How to create a legal entity. So let me try to. Okay, so if you remember in my previous example, we have taken a few companies like Reliance and then MRF or these kind of companies, right? So today we will try to create our own company so that we can perform what the next modules or next the classes whatever we are doing, right? All those activities will be done in this company. So we will try to create a new legal entity. Let us try to give one name. We will keep it as a global enterprises. Or else we'll take it any well-known company like any Britannia or anything. We'll do that. So we are going to create a company name called Britannia. 1 minute, guys. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, so we'll try to create one legal entity. Under this legal entity, we can do all activities or whatever the modules we are going to discuss. Right, all those uh, transactions related to all those modules will be done under this company. For example, we have selected this company name. Right, we'll try to. I'll show you the navigation how to create a legal entity. Just go to organization administration. Under this organization administration, under organizations, select legal entities. See, if you see here, you can see operating units, position hierarchy, organization hierarchies. Even this organization hierarchies also we can create. So it is nothing but like if there are three or multiple companies, which should be the parent company or which should be subsidiary company, all these things you can create. That we'll discuss in next topic. For the timing, we'll create the legal entities. Just select these legal entities. Click on new. You can give the name, and this company it's kind of a short form you can give. Either you can give number or a digit or anything. See, it says enter the ID of the company account that is associated. You can either give it as a if there are like multiple companies, you can give one, two, three, like serial number, or you can just leave it, give it as a short form. Just give it as a BTN as a short form. Then country or region you can select. We will try to select it as in US, since most of the uh, uh, futures that are enabled for US and for India also it is enabled. We'll try to select it as in US so that it will be easy for us to understand.
So the features are both in in both USA and India modules, right?
Country wise, see, basic features are almost same, but if you select as per the company, as per the country, if there are, for example, under tax module, if there are something additional features which needs to be added as per the US, by default, the system will select those country features. If you give it as a USA, if you give it as an India, as per the Indian requirement, Indian tax requirement, those details will get added in the tax books or anything. So like that, it will detect, it will automatically select the features of that particular country which you have selected here.
Okay,
So
so it's only upon tax or any other components as
all
well.
modules,
Like,
all components going
okay,
forward, whatever you are going to do, all those activities will be selected as per the uh, country that you have selected while creating the legal entity.
okay,
Okay. So here we can select, we can just give any see the so from here the actual topics, the main topics of D365 are going to start. So this is how every not only a legal entity creation going forward, any module or any under topic of any module, this is how it will reflect. There will be fields and you need to identify the purpose of that field and how does that field helps for the client as well as the user. So depending on these are just like a forms. If you remember any form that while filling the application, there will be few mandatory form fields will be there and few details you are supposed to enter, right? So this is how here also we need to enter all the details. So once you enter all these details, then it will show us the, it will allow us to do any activities. So it's telling this in hierarchy, right? If you for the time being, it is not allowing you to create an in hierarchy. What is the purpose of this hierarchies? If you see here, a selected option indicates that the legal entity belongs to organization hierarchy. So let us assume that under Britannia, there are three subsidiary companies or three sister concern companies are there. One company is into biscuits, and one more is into like breads. So you can create two more legal entities in the name of Britannia biscuits and one more company as a Britannia breads. At that time, it will allow you to select this in hierarchy, so that you can select. For example, let us assume we are creating Britannia biscuits legal company and Britannia breads company. Then it will allow you to select this option in her. Even if this topic we will discuss once we create these multiple legal entities. Okay. This one used for financial consolidation process. This in case if you want to see while creating the consolidation, if you remember, there is after the financial year end, we are supposed to prepare a report. So for the management or whatever the for various reasons, even though you might be having multiple companies, let us assume that you have three, four companies or five companies, you will have to prepare one consolidated company, right, to show the results of that particular group of companies. Either if you are creating this legal entity, this Britannia, for consolidation purpose, you can select this yes. If you select this yes, then the operations under biscuits and breads can be included in this process. So those details will be discussed in the under the consolidation topic. For the time being, we are not going to select this and select this as yes. Use for financial elimination process. So it says that select this option to enable elimination entries to be created in the ledger. You cannot change this field. Elimination entries to be created. Okay, I think even this is also related to consolidation process only. Uh, that we will discuss in the under the consolidation topic itself. The localized functionality region. So we have selected this one, right? USA, right? So we can select it as in USA itself. So if you select this USA, as I told, all components of the company or all components of this, like any accounts payable, tax, or all these modules will get added as per the USA, because every country will be having their own rules and regulations, right? All since Dynamics 365 has all country features, so by default it will allow you to it will select in the backend itself. You can select, you need to select the language, and you can select the time zone as well. Full name, I think this is grayed out, so we are not using that one. So we have to give the address. Actually, while creating the name itself, it should allow you to enter all the details, but since it has not allowed, you just need to click on edit. Yeah, see this location ID by default it has created, so you need not to do anything about that. And the name or description, we have selected it as a Britannia, and the purpose. If you click on the drop down, you can see there are multiple purposes like business, consignment, delivery, fixed assets, home, invoice. These options you can use since this is an address column, right? So whatever since this is, we can queue as a corporate, we can select multiple, we can create multiple addresses, so like one for corporate address, on one for statutory purpose, and one for any invoice receivables. If you have any customer care center, you can create an address for that as well. For the time being, we are creating the corporate address, so we will select it as a business and then click on select. Postal code you can select. Okay, we'll just for sample we'll select this as a Carolina address. You can give the street address of that corporate office address. Okay, this state by default it will select once you select the city. Okay, since we are creating the first address, right? So by default it will take as a, it will consider as a primary. Primary in the sense for the Britannia for the Britannia enterprises, this will be the main address, like corporate, or you can say, or business, you can say anything. And see, if you are having this kind of Britannia in multiple countries, and if you want for the USA, this address should be the primary, you can select this one. Or else you can, if you don't want this as to be a primary address for USA, you can just okay. I think it is not allowing us to. No problem. You can select it as, you can just make it as a yes. Since we are will give this address for that USA as a primary address. Just click on OK. While creating the next address, it will show other those primary options once again. So now we have created business address. Now we will try to create one more address that is for any other purpose like warehouse or anything. We will create it as a warehouse. Under this purpose, you can select the purpose. We have got multiple options: consignment, delivery, head company, home, invoice, lighting, other details are there, right? We need for the warehouse purpose, so we'll select it as a consignment. So let us assume that our warehouse is located in different part of that USA. Let us select this Holstville. Yeah. So earlier, this we have selected as a primary address for that particular for USA, right? Even again, it will it will ask us to select whether if you want to make this address as a primary, or the one which you have already selected. Since we have already given one primary address, we are not going to enable this option. See, if you click on yes, it will give us a caution saying that this will unmark the current primary address. Do you want to continue? Since we don't want this address to be as a primary address, since we have already given that business address as a primary address, we will select this as a no. Same applies for this also. But here we will have both options, yes or no, because we have not selected this as a primary address, right? We do have this option to make it as a primary address for this country, but we don't want to give it this as a primary, since we have already given the primary address. Just click on OK. Yeah. So like this, you can give multiple addresses, like for one for warehouse and for invoice collection. Like this, be depending on your requirement, you can create. You can even click on the map, and you can uh, add this Google Maps link as well. Okay. So we these options I have not used, so have used only for adding address and editing, and the maps you can give. And then we'll go to the next column, contact information. Even here also you can give your email ID, contact number, and then if you have any social media accounts, even those details you can add here. Just click on add description. We will give it as a corporate. You can select here phone, email address, URL, all these details are there. For let us select it as a phone. If you want to make this as a contact number as a primary, you can select it as a primary. And then if you have any extensions, you can give that extension. We will add one more contact information. So here we will select it as an email ID. We'll use this email ID for any customer related queries. You can select it as a primary if you want. If you have multiple email IDs, you can which you can select whichever it is primary. So like this, you can add multiple contact details. Like if you have any website, you can add that one. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these things you can add. So we'll just keep email address and phone number enough. Yeah, we'll go to the next column. This is statutory reporting. So it says branch or subsidiary, DUN number, DUNS number, NAICS, tax representative. So these fields are related to statutory reporting for the US. In India, if you create any company, we will be having some statutory details like registration number or any government ID. If you are given any ID after doing registration, so like that, even in USA also, see these are the brand. These fields are default, irrespective of the country you select. If you have all these details, you can enter or else you can ignore. Here in for example, let us assume your task has you are working for an US client, and you have given all these details by the client. While since your task will be uh, entering all these details, right? So you'll just have a look of the details given by the client, and you'll enter branch and subsidiary. It says identify the branch that is used with the tax exempt number. So if you have these details, you can fill, and if you got this DUNS number, you will enter. Since we don't have all these details, we are not going to enter. So registration number, yeah, even this registration number also, uh, these are not mandatory fields. If you see here, notice here, by default, even though we have selected USA, by default it has selected few countries like Japan, Brazil, Italy, Norway, Canada, these countries, right? These are very selected countries. If you are working for these country clients, and while giving the address, if you have selected these countries, then only these options will get enabled. Since these options are related to only these particular countries, so it is allowing us to enter these details of for that particular country itself. Since we have selected USA, uh, we don't have any mandatory fields here. See, if you see here, if you are working for a Japan company, let us assume in Japan, accounting personnel and company representative might be compulsory, or they might have given details. That is why these two fields are enabled. If you are working for a Brazil client, maybe in Brazil they might have given these details from the government, like CNPJ, CCM, and all. So if you select that particular country while creating the address, then these details will be enabled for you. So these you will once you if you're working for these countries, then you will understand, since we
So
are
this
mm,
this part means like whichever country we select as in
specific, country specific.
our, yeah. So that means that country has these clients of these countries. As we have
Sorry.
selected USA, so like we have selected USA at the first, right,
Mm,
as a country
correct,
region.
correct, correct.
That means our company region has Japan, Italy, Russia as our clients areas.
No, 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 no. Actually, this is no. I think you see what happened.
Actually, I want to know
Our
the purpose
Britannic
behind
company.
why we get these names reflecting over here. I mean,
Yeah. See, we have created the Britannia company. We have registered the Britannia company in USA, right? So we will be doing the registration in USA, and we will be getting all the details as per the USA regulated authorities. If you are creating this Britannia company in Japan, then these two fields will be enabled for you. If you are creating the company in Brazil, then these details will be enabled. And while selecting the address also, if you select Brazil, or if you select Japan, then only these options will be enabled. So even though you see, these are specific country specific fields. For example, since we have got around some 200 to 300 countries, right? Among those 200 or among those a number of countries, only these countries have these special detail, I mean country specific details, which are mandatory or which have provided the details. But the rest of the countries like USA, India, if you see, all these details are not available, and it is not mandatory also. So
okay, this is what I wanted to know. Okay,
so these are not mandatory fields, country specific. That's all. For example, in Ireland, national registry number, they're giving if you register any company. Then if you see, instead of selecting, even though this localized functionality region, if you select, by default, features of that particular country will be enabled for all the modules, but only for this registration numbers field, and the two only for this few countries, few selected countries. It will allow you to it will allow you to enter these details. See, you have registered in USA. In USA, maybe it is not mandatory, or these details are not mandatory, like software identification code, GST code, or registration number. Maybe these details are not mandatory, or you might have not given. So it is not allowing you to enter these details. So we can ignore this one. The bank account information. So here we need to enter the bank account details. Since we have not created the bank account for this Britannia, those bank account details will be discussed while discussing the cash and bank management module. Uh, Let us discuss the fields purpose. Like India, we will be having multiple details like IFSC code, MICR code, and there are, if there are any RBI number or RBI code. Even in the same way, in USA, they'll be having few bank details like routing number, central bank purpose code. If you have all these details, you can enter all these details. Routing you see, the definition of this routing number might be different. Like it may see, since we have IFSC code, right? Like that way, maybe for some reason, we don't know what is exact meaning of this routing number, or what is the central bank purpose code, what is a purpose text, this DNB routing number. All these details will be country specific. If you have all these details, you can select. It says a GIRO account. I think this is something related to escrow related. I'm not sure. So if you have all these details, you can enter all the details. And once you create a bank account, it will this drop down will be enabled. If you create, for example, if you create ICICI SBI bank account details, then it will this drop down will be enabled. So after creating the bank account details, then again we'll come back to this field, foreign trade and logistics. So even this is also country specific or as per your requirement. Since we are doing these operations in USA, if you are doing this foreign trade in multiple countries, you will be asked to do some registrations, right, to or to get the permissions or anything. So all these details you can enter, like identification, DVR, delivery number, activity code. If you have any packing material fee, see, it says enter the packing material fee license number. If you have any license, you can enter all these details. The VAT exempt number export. If you have any VAT registration or exempt number details that you can select. So these details are you can, if you have, you can enter all the details. And only for Germany, it is asking print corrective invoice on sales credit memo. If you want to enable this option, you can you can enable it. Yes, yes, but now it is not allowing since we have selected the country address as USA, right? So that might be the reason. Shipping calendar also you can create. So if you have any multiple calendars, like if we have a fiscal year and assessment year, right? Maybe even for logistics also you can create a separate calendar. If you have created anything as such, then it will allow you to select that one. Number sequences. Yeah. So these number sequences we will discuss in the separate topic. uh, I'll tell you the what is the meaning of these numbers. So it is nothing but whenever you are doing any transactions for accounts payable, accounts receivable, taxes, general ledger, or anywhere it may be, you need to record those transaction uh, with the help of any one number to identify, right? If you are posting 100 invoice, 100 journal entries, for example, if you're posting anything related to rent, then you will have to create a number sequence. It's nothing but a serial number. Here we'll call it as a number sequences, that's all. And if you have any specific format, if in order, even you see, if it is since in a company we'll be having n number of transactions, like rent related, vendor payments, customer payments. In order to identify if you have any specific format for in order to pass any customer entries, if you need any format, C for in the short form, let us say CUST, cust 001. See, if you are while posting journal entry, it will take CUST 001. If you are and for the second entry, it will take CUST 002. So like this module by transaction wise, you can give the number sequences, and anyhow we will be discussing in detail while creating the number sequences. Additional registration. So in even this is also like a country specific. If you have any social insurance, territorial authority, registration, organization, legal form. Since we don't have all these details in India, so we are not sure. If you have any details for the US, you can enter all these details. Dashboard image. So if you have any logo of your company, Britannia, you can either select, you can select that one. Just click on this drop down. This is a default sample one. You can either click on the default or none or banner. You can change. If you click on the change, if you have saved any image, then you can just click on the browse. Since I have not created any image for the to upload here, I'm not going to select here. If you have any logo, even that also you can click on the change and upload the report company logo image. Okay, so if you have already selected any image, that you can either do alterations, either click on change or you can remove. Print destination default. Yeah, so print destination default under this, while performing any activities on under any module, Generally, if, for example, under vendor invoices, if you want a report for that particular month, let us say for month of December, if you want to know how many vendor invoices are pending, and while clicking on the, if you select print, by default, if you want those details should be visible on the screen, or if you want those details should be come in the format as a PDF. If you select this as a screen, those details will be shown on the screen. If you select it as a PDF, uh, default, it will get converted into the PDF file. This is a tax registration. Same. This will be as per the country specific. If you have these details, we have this tax registration number in India, or even in US also it might be there. This Jakat, I am not sure what is the meaning of this one. Business activity, I think even this is also disabled. Maybe these are not mandatory. Golden tax, even this is also not mandatory. So if it is mandatory fields, then it will show. It will, like, you can see one star symbol. If it is not mandatory, you need not to enter. If you have these details of your client, you can enter. Even this is also country specific only. Tax 1099 in USA. um, if your company is in USA, you will get all these details like federal tax ID, DBA, name control, last filing indicator. All these details you will be given, and for the tax payments related, and you can select the bank account also for tax payments related. Tax information. Yeah. So here in India we have a PAN and withholding tax related details, right? In the same way, you can enter here. I think PAN is only available in India, I guess. It is used in India. If you select the address, if you select the company address as in India, it might enable you to enter the PAN. See, under the PAN also you can see multiple fields like status. If you have applied and what is the status of that, you can enter. Or else if you have already received permanent account number, you can enter this permanent account number. Since we don't have this PAN information, we are not going to enter any of these details. So once you create all these details, even though by default, or whenever you are entering all the details in these respective headers, right, uh, it will get saved. But you need to keep it you just make it as a practice to click on save whenever you are entering all the details. Even though you don't enter this save, by default from backend, these details will get auto saved. So this is how you can create legal entities. Like this, you can create a number of legal entities as per your requirement. Okay, so any doubts under this till now, whatever we have discussed, Pankaj?
No one, no doubt as of now. So where would this company which we create it would reflect?
Yeah. So once you click on the save, I'll show you. Let us just go back to the home page. So this is a default screen, right? The moment you open the Dynamics 365, this is a default screen.
Mm,
You just select this one under USMF.
okay,
Here there is a drop down. Here our company should be reflected.
okay,
Now, whatever the activities that you are going to perform, all these activities will be done under the name of Britannia Company. So, we will discuss this one more topic, that is under organization admission, under legal entity itself. So, even though you have selected this Britannia, but still you will be able to see other companies which are already existing. And if you want to do any changes, just click on edit. That's all. So now it will allow you to enable all the details. We'll see what is this registration IDs here. Yeah. So if you click on this registration IDs, we can see address. I mean, even though we have entered all these details in the address header itself, but still, if you have this multiple. I mean, few additional features like active, history, future. Uh, See, these are the active addresses. These two addresses are active addresses, and then this is history. Okay, I think it is not okay. Under active only, it is showing both the addresses. Maybe under this one, history and future. Okay, it is not showing any details. We can click on new. We'll see. Yeah, maybe if you want to give any address for future purpose, you can enter these details. If you need any under even in history also, maybe we have not given any since we have not any change done any changes right on the address, so that is why it is not showing you any the previous addresses. For the timing, it is showing only active addresses whatever we have given for the Britannia and the warehouse. And you have this option also to remove and edit. Even this remove option and the edit option, you will have in the previous the main page itself. One minute. So under this address column, you still have this option to edit and add address. Either if you can do here, or else you can go to the registration IDs and you can do those changes. So these options, we are not. I mean, we are not using these options. You can just because under this options field is there, right? This will be common in every module. Wherever you use this, like accounts receivable, payable, anywhere. If you see, these you can see default. These maybe these are used by the technical team, or I'm not sure when these are going to be used. Yeah. So this is how the legal entity can be created. So let us see what is this registration ID search. Let us click on select the vendor and click on add. Okay, again might be these are country specific. So if you have any specific details to related to vendor, or if you want to add any all these details, you can enter this one. Since we don't have any all these details, we are not going to enter any of these details. If you see under this drop down, you can see contact worker. Senvat, INNRG. Maybe these are mandatory fields which are given by the government while creating the company or anything. Since we don't have all these details, we are not going to enter all these details. And then we'll see what is this electronic document properties. Okay, I think even these details are not enabled. Maybe we have to create these electronic document properties, I guess. So these are not mandatory fields, I guess. So these are the basic details, guys. Like whatever we have entered, right? These are the basic details. Uh, as and when there is a requirement, then we will have to explore what is the purpose of this field. Just click on the save. That's all. Okay. For the time being, we will for today we will just stop this recording till legal entities creation.